Boxing Ego here with the legend, Sugar Shane Mosley. How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good, feeling good.
You feel good. So what is it about fighters that made you want to come back to the ring? Like, what made you come back to the sport?
Man, I've been boxing now for 35 years, and it's in my blood. I love it. I love everything about it. I mean, going to the gym, training, getting in the ring and fighting with the top guy. With another veteran guy. And it just feels good, the fans screaming and me doing my thing, being able to do it. I love it.
And as far as Mayweather, you've been in there with him twice. What's the difference from the first fight to the second? Did you notice any difference between him or on your behalf?
The difference was he's a lot bigger now. I mean, he was bigger before, but now he was probably about 6 to 8 more pounds heavier than he was the first time I fought him. So that was the difference. He still threw the wild shots, and he still was crazy and did a lot of crazy tactics. But I finished him off a little earlier, like I promised.
Perfect. And how does a fighter deal with? He was doing some chopping, like wild punches towards you. How do you deal with stuff like that when the ref is not necessarily changing what's happening?
That's what makes him Mayweather. That's what makes him difficult to fight, because he does those choppy punches. He throws punches from different angles that we're not traditionally used to seeing. So you have to block a certain way, you have to try to move back, or you don't know if the punch is coming straight or if it's coming down. And a lot of times it's coming down. It come down on top of your head and it can buzz you. If you get hit, with that shot. It's not the traditional straight shot. It's different.
All right. And you've been in there with everybody that counts in boxing. There's a big fight coming up with Canelo and Cotto. In your opinion, who takes it in that particular fight?
I think the one that wants it the most, but I mean, Cotto has a lot of experience, and he's working pretty good with Freddie Roach and building some punching power. It could be, Cotto to win, but Canelo is a great fighter as well. I think he has a lot of good speed and power and good patience in the ring. He knows how to sit back and move around a little bit and catch you with a good body shot and set up shots. He's very quick, a little bit more snappier than Cotto, but Cotto. It's going to be a great fight. I don't know who's going to win. I'm just going to sit back and watch.
All right, and last two questions. You're part of the Sugar Club. What's the difference between Sugar Shane Mosley and some of the veteran fighters as opposed to the new school? Is there a separation between you and the new cats, the welterweights that are out now?
I think the only separation is I grew up in the 80s, the 80s and the 90s, and I patterned myself after those guys like Sugar Leonard and Duran, Tommy Hearns, and those guys. I think that when boxing kind of took a little turn is when Roy Jones lost in the Olympics, and they went to the point system, and fighters started learning how to just do points and run around the ring if they was ahead, and that was a bad habit that started from the amateurs and they brought to the pros. Now they've coming back with the 10-9. Rounds and things are better. Then you have more fighters fighting, and one to get in there and mix it up, and one to fight for the knockout or get the knockout. It's not just scoring points anymore. And that's one thing. That's one real good thing I can say about Sean Porter, is that he's a fighter. He's gonna go out there. He tries to get the knockout. I mean, he's gonna get his points in, but he's trying to get you. And in all costs, and that's a great trait. And that's why he would be a top champion. That's gonna be a fan friendly champion, because he goes out and he fights like that. So,
all right,
that's important.
And the final question: if anybody had Mayweather severely hurt, he says this is his last fight with Berto. Does that haunt you that you had him rock badly twice in the second round, and you let him off the hook, or you weren't able to finish him?
I don't think that it's going to be his last fight. I can't believe that a person that claims to be the best ever and doesn't want to challenge himself to fight these top fights. If he believes he's the best ever, he's going to try to challenge himself. Even if he loses to a fighter or a fight, I mean, it depends on how you lose. So when you come back, if you come back, how are we going to handle that? Can you do a rematch and beat the guy that beat you, or do you have enough courage to do that? So, I mean, I think that he's just afraid to lose. And You can't be afraid to lose. I mean, it's gonna happen one day or another. If he just goes up to sunset, he's gonna feel bad about himself. He's gonna be like, I could have did this or I could have did that, and some other young guy's gonna break his record, and he's gonna be mad.
All right. And what's the last message? Like, what have you learned from the sport of boxing with all your years of wisdom? What have you learned from boxing?
Oh boy, I learned from boxing. I learned that, you gotta give it your all. You have to give everything that you have, put everything out there, and try not to leave with any regrets. Try not to leave with any regrets in the ring. I mean, there's some fighters that they go out there and they fight and they fight and fight and things happen to them in their life and they quit and they just walk away from it. But they have regret because they didn't fulfill that need, that hunger to get everything out of it. And I don't want to have no regrets saying that, oh man, I could have won a title again, or I could have fought, Manny or whoever, and I could have did better. I don't have any regrets.
Perfect.
All on the line.
And you're the people's champ. Last message to your fans.
Man, stay tuned. There's going to be more coming up. Hopefully we get another fight in December. And, and keep going until I get to the top, till I fight the best.
Perfect. Boxing Ego with the legend, Shane Mosley.